Flea market season is just starting to rev up. It's spring, it's beautiful outside. Let's take a look at what they've got. Let's do some big game hunting. Of course, the first thing I run into is a reseller, and this guy's trying to sell this Super Nintendo in this ratty box for 85 bucks. The box literally looks like it's been chewed on by rats. He has some Game Boy stuff. I'm not really interested in Game Boy stuff. He sort of yanked me over to the side because he saw me filming and showed me some Nintendo 64 stuff. He wasn't selling this stuff, but he did mention how much these games typically go for on eBay, which is a shame. I didn't film it because I was kind of ready to get out of there, but he did have some decent games in the box. Killer Instinct, Doom 64, some games that do actually go for quite a bit on eBay, but he's at a flea market. If I wanted to pay 40 bucks for Killer Instinct, I'd just get one on eBay and get a clean one. Sometimes I'm sort of surprised at what I find in these booths. This guy had a Spawn action figure. Now what's kind of cool about this particular figure is it's the maskless variant. I actually have the one that's got the mask, and I was kind of tempted to buy this, except for the box was just completely chewed up. I see this a lot at flea markets and yard sales, where sellers kind of have a vague idea that certain things are collectible, like comic books or action figures, but they don't really understand what collectors are actually looking for. I sometimes find games in the oddest places. Here on this table is a loaned copy of World of Warcraft. Now, I'm really not interested in a small box copy of World of Warcraft, and I pity anyone who buys it expecting to actually play the game, but it's just weird to bump into these things. In this same flea market, there's a store that sells movies and games. I've found stuff in here, but for the most part, the PC games just aren't well kept enough for me to really want them. Here's a random X-Wing manual that's covered in mold. Here's a copy of 1942 Pacific Air War by Microprose. Probably would have picked this up too, but it's just too dirty, too smashed up. Here's some more big box games with a big heavy tub stacked on top of them. This flattened box up here is actually a copy of Microsoft's Deadly Tide. It's actually a game I've been looking for because it's a game I had back in the day that I kind of enjoyed, but I won't be buying this one because it's completely ruined. What a shame. Having mostly struck out at the flea market, we moved on to a nearby Goodwill. I've had really good luck in this Goodwill recently. This is where I found that collector's edition King's Quest set just a couple of weeks ago. First, I bumped into a copy of NASCAR Racing. I bump into NASCAR games a lot here in the South. The game was complete, came with all the manuals, the disc was nice and clean. This was a good pickup. Next up was a sealed copy of Sim Theme Park. I'm not particularly interested in playing this, so I'll probably keep it sealed. Now these were interesting pickups. MiG-29 and High Command. Here's the MiG-29. It appears to be the Slash version. All that was really included here was the two 3.5-inch discs. The box was also full of all kinds of other interesting little tidbits. There was a CD copy of IBM's Triple Threat, which looks like it's 3 games in one. It's something I didn't have, so it was a nice little surprise. There was a Software Toolworks World Atlas in here. I don't really need this. Weirdly, there's a full set of Myst paperwork, an addendum sheet for Ice and Fire. There was a Slash version of a game called Solar System, and also a Slash version of a game called Winter Challenge. Next up was that Slash version of High Command. It was a little bit less exciting, but it did look complete. Perusing the electronics section, I stumbled across a Microsoft Sidewinder 2 force feedback joystick. Now if you don't have one of these, you should probably grab one if you see one, because this is probably the best joystick I've ever had. Mine still works great after all these years. It took a lot of abuse due to my constant MechWarrior playing, and this right here is the best MechWarrior joystick ever made by mankind. Sitting next to a poor unwanted Sega Genesis, there was a 56K USB modem. I probably should have picked this up because I've actually never seen a USB modem out in the wild, but alas, I don't really have a need for one. I was really surprised to find this copy of SimCity 2000 Special Edition on the shelves. I was even more surprised to open it and find that it was complete. Alas, the best find of the day, and I wasn't even filming. Frankly, I didn't even know what they were whenever I ran into them because the Goodwill had taped them together. I found 2 sealed LucasArts OEM games up on the shelf. One was The Secret of Monkey Island, which was just awesome to find. The other was a copy of Loom, which was really awesome. I'm told that these sealed OEM games are kind of hard to come by. They're an interesting piece of history nonetheless. That's all she wrote for this edition of Big Game Hunting. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe. And if you're interested in classic PC gaming, come check us out on Facebook.
I thought you were going to use it to do some sort of intro.
Well, just some filler shots.
Yes, I do put up with you.
I was driving around in the car.
I even love you.